Hey, you guys, it's me, Kiana, coming at you today. And before we get started, I have to show you this look. I have to show you all of it in its full glory. Yes, baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, this look, if you want to know how I actually did this on camera from start to finish, the link will be below. This is a fun look. This look, if you do it, you guys, if you're depressed, sad, down, feel beaten up by life, society, and all that, just doing this look will erase all of that. Because it's so much fun. You cannot have this look and have a sad face. See, that don't even go. That don't even go. I can't even pout with this look. You have to smile with this look. So, if you want something fun that just will brighten your day and brighten everything around you, you have to do this pink and purple look. I did it with my 120 palette. You can do it with LA Colors, whatever. As you all know, I didn't spend a lot for this palette. This is a BH Cosmetic 120. You can get it by Coastal Scents. That is the, it will be under like the 120 or the 88 original palette. That's what they call it. But yeah, this look and this hat is giving me life. I bought it last year from Five and Below, but I'm getting it in today with the hat. Okay, even though I look like, mother of the church. Anyway, all right, you guys. So with that being said, oh, and also if you want this wig review, I'll probably go ahead and put that below as well. But this wig is so cute, and I'll just go ahead and tell you under $10 for the whole wig. Yeah. All right. So I wanted to do this video because I just don't know what has happened with old school men. I just don't know where they're at. I just don't know if they've disappeared. I don't know if they make them anymore. I just want to know where and when did the shift start. It used to be a man took pride in making sure his woman always had, making sure she was taken care of. Even besides her needs, he wanted to supply her wants just because it made them feel like men. It made them have an opportunity to poke their chest out a little bit. That used to be something that men used to brag about to other men. That used to be something that made a man feel like a man. And I don't know when it started changing. I don't know what year. I don't know why. But it just started being a shift where men started feeling like men, and they would brag about it being the other way around. Meaning, a man was considered, you know, that he was doing his thing and doing it big, as they say, if he turns to his woman and she's always providing for him. I don't understand, and I'm not going to get too far into specifics, but people I see on my in my daily life, I don't understand why that happened. And it, like I said, it used to be totally different. And we can't even say, well, the pimp mentality, because that's basically what it is. But we can't even say the pimp era did it, because that was back in the 70s. Yeah, pimps has always been around and they're still around. But that was back in Dolomite time and stuff where, that men really was considered like real players if they was pimps and stuff like that. So it didn't happen then, technically. Because I remember when I was younger and I was growing up in the 80s, men still were men. Men still had a certain pride level. Men still had all of the ingredients, all the characteristics that old school men had. You understand what I'm saying? When I say old school, I'm talking about back in my mom's and my grandma's time. Yeah, it's always been men that always try to get over and all that. That's always going to be. I'm not talking about those type. I'm talking about what happened to nowadays. Men don't have no problem turning to their woman and their woman providing everything. I don't understand that. I really don't. And I sit and watch people that's in my circle. I'll just say that. Because see, I have people, my neighbors and stuff watch my videos. So I ain't putting nobody out there. But I just don't understand how men are supported by women and that's not a shameful thing. I really don't understand that. And here we as women walk around ashamed of all kinds of things. We walk around with a lot of shame about a lot of things. Our weight, our education level, the jobs that we work on, because we may don't have the best job, or we may don't have multiple businesses. We may only have one small business or whatever. We walk around with little insecurities and little shame about things. And here they are not feeling any shame whatsoever. And they're men. I just don't understand that. Men back in the day had a level of pride. You remember back in the day, a man would feel bad. Now, I'm not saying all people, so please don't think I'm saying that would be silly of you or me to even think I'm talking about every man on this earth, because I don't know every man. Okay, so we talking as adults. We both are understanding that I'm not saying every man is like this or every man is not like this. I'm just saying the majority of men that I see, okay, that I see. I remember back in the day, men would be ashamed if they let their woman go down to social service and apply for food stamps. What happened to those men? Now, they just as anxious to get the food stamps as the women. Now, they want to take the steak out the children's mouth. Now, they up there buying their little set of snacks and stuff like that. I don't understand that. I really don't understand it. I really, really don't understand that. With no pride whatsoever. Isn't that part of being a man? Isn't that part of some characteristics that men are supposed to have? Which is pride? I mean, am I wrong? But I just don't understand what happened. What happened? You know, and I'm not even talking about, you know, we can go back to talk about the breakdown, or how the breakdown of the black man started, as far as, you know, having to see his woman, his wife, the mother of his children, being beaten and raped by, you know, the master and all those kinds of things. And that was psychological damage, and that damage carried over to generation to generation. Yeah, I know all that. See, I know all that. I know my history. But I also know that even the black man back then had a certain amount of pride. Not all. And sometimes they would try to beat the pride out of us. Okay? I understand that. But when did it become okay for a man, of any race now I'm talking about, to not have that level of pride, to want to provide, to want to take care of? And when did it become okay? When did it become a badge of honor? When did it become a badge of having it going on, so to speak, for the woman to provide for him? I see men all the time. They pop their chests out all the time if their woman comes over and give them a couple of dollars in front of the fellas. That's not cute. That's not cute. It's not funny, and it's not a good look whatsoever. It used to be back in the day, if a man did that, he would fuss or lay his woman out later on and say, "Don't you ever give me money in front of in front of my fellas, in front of my friends, in front of my coworkers. You pull me to the side and give me that," because that level of pride was speaking. Now it's the total opposite. They take pride in others knowing that they are taken care of, that they are sort of kept men. When did this happen? And why did this happen? And then, I don't know who brainwashed the women into believing, into thinking that that is acceptable, that that is okay. Now, if your husband is down and out, I'm not talking about that. Okay? I'm not talking about if your boyfriend is in between jobs, but you know he has a pattern of providing. I'm talking about the brother that he has no pattern of holding a job. He has no desire. The only thing he good for is to put some clothes on and look nice in it. I don't understand, when did this shift happen? And I blame some of these uncles. Because some of these silly, ridiculous, wannabe old school, old time pimps is lying to these brothers. Because they sit and tell them, yeah, see, back in the day, I had 3 of them making sure they provided for me. Meanwhile, he walking around at the cookout looking like who done it and why, with all kinds of taco meat on his chest, with his shirt open, and sandals and socks on. So clearly, today, he is not rolling like that. And evidently these young cats is listening to these old school wannabes, and they pattern themselves off of what these old school wannabe uncles is telling them, and not realizing he just telling you what he wished he was doing. Or he telling you what women allowed him to do back in the early 70s. Maybe the mid 70s. But when women had to start getting out there and paving the pavement just like these men did, yeah, some of that stopped. Because a normal thinking woman don't want a man that, I'm talking about normal, I'm talking about with healthy levels of self-esteem, don't want that man that is not doing just as much as her, if not more. Now, it's a different story, like I said, if you have to help somebody when they're down. That's normal. That's what we all do. But for these people to 2 years in it, to be still doing the same thing, something wrong. I just don't understand where those old school men went. I really don't. When did this shift begin? So, if y'all want to chime in, do so below. Just my thoughts and my opinions. Just something to make you go, something for you to sip on when you drink your bottled water. Alright, you guys. Love you all so much. Talk to you guys later. Be blessed.